The Jersey Shore. I have not really been here. In fact, I had never been here until today. I'm pretty impressed so far after an earlier visit to Atlantic City, and now I'm here at Wildwood on the southern tip of Jersey to finally go to Morey's Piers. 3 different piers with 7 roller coasters here. They're open for an evening program here in the middle of July. It is super sweaty and almost 40 degrees in my temperature grade. It's crazy. That's degrees Celsius. So we're going to try to get as many credits as we can. I don't know if there's on-ride filming here. Tried to get in touch with the park, but that was as per usual. Didn't hear anything back. So fingers crossed we might be able to. I'm not highly sure of that. It's also not cheap to come to this park to enjoy these attractions, so I'm going to give you a little bit of an idea of what that's all about and if I was able to get any deals. Morey's Piers, let's go. Okay, well, it doesn't, I will admit that this is not an easy place to get to, and because of that, we have gotten the smallest option for tickets, which was $100 American for 75 tickets, which equates to at least each credit here and possibly the haunted house. It ain't cheap. You also have a digital offer here where you can put it onto your phone, which I guess is a nice thing, but considering that we're not going to get any re-rides with this option, and I don't think I'm going to really be back here anytime soon, so I decided to go for the full option anyway. Not cheap whatsoever, but it is what it is. That's Morey's Pier. Dungeon done behind me. That was an excellent haunted house. Excellent ghost train. Probably one of the better ones I've done in America with a classic styling to it. I'd say this is in the top 3 of what I've done. Yeah, it's got a great feel to it. A lot of props that are working, have that old-timey feel to them. And yeah, just the core inside was excellent, multi-level. You do have a scare actor in there, so he did get me. So yeah, I'd even laugh at the fact that he got me pretty good. So excellent ride. Don't miss that. It's the first one I've done here today, but it was definitely worth it. Dante's Dungeon, all done. Let's get on to the coasters. That I just did for my first ride here, or first coaster. I have to admit, new Vekoma trains, fairly well maintained SLC. I'd say probably one of the best maintained SLCs I've seen. Considering it's on a pier next to the ocean, that's shocking to me. Beautiful color scheme, perfectly laid out, intertwined with the attractions on this pier. And I'm just going to go and say it right now. That might be, and it probably is, the best SLC I've ever been on. It was great. Sights over the ocean, just diving towards the ocean on the first drop. This really brought a different element to this ride that it needs, considering how ubiquitous this design is around the world now. Great SLC, great start here at Morey's Piers. They do have a pretty strict policy for on-ride filming here. In fact, this is the first SLC that I've had a dedicated security gate and scan before getting on the ride. So bear that in mind. There's no fooling around here at Morey's Piers. All right, let's carry on. just finished the Dew Bopper, or Dew Whopper. It's one of the two. It is just a wild mouse at the end of the day. I will say that the rides here, from what I've noticed, are very well maintained. So despite a extortionate price to get on the rides here, at least they are well maintained and micromanaged, I will say. There's a lot of ride attendants, and there's no with anything on ride, filming or otherwise. Not even to the point where I asked to take a picture or a little video in the station of the train coming out of the station. He's like, oh, no, you can't do that. I'm not really sure that that's the rules, but I'm not here to argue with anybody from the Jersey Shore today. All right, we're off to the other pier. Why is that? Because I'm on credit 500. So it kind of makes sense that I make a special ride for my 500th coaster. So it's coming up next.
Hi, this is Mark Hunter from 98.7 The Coast, WCCT, and 106.3.
Pretty much the only two things I consume these days. This is my kind of place. And my kind of place to get my 500th credit here at Adventure Pier. Waited a long time for this one, but we're here finally. There's no stopping us now. Adventure Pier features some of the more extreme attractions available at Morey's Pier. It's also the furthest one south, which is why I've come here. Well, for this ride, obviously. It only features one coaster on this pier, and then we're going to go to one just next door, which has 3 more credits, which will just roll off leisurely now that we're here. I still, to this day, have not been on a sky coaster. I've been on a Scream and Swing. In fact, this is a Scream and Swin. Scream and Swin. That's what that one's called. It's kind of ironic for a park that's so well maintained as this one is. What we want is that coaster.
You're right.
My dad had to sit out because he was like, I can't keep going around. There's no line. I'm supposed to go
Piers.
500 credits done. Great White 500, and it actually was pretty good. I went on the front mainly to get that photo opportunity, and another sort of conundrum is that the staff member kind of grabbed the phone out of another staff member's, like, pushed me on after the moment. So if you're watching Morey's Piers, you might want to be a little bit more sensitive to milestones such as that, and you might have people justify how much it costs to get on the rides here. Anyhow, we're done here at Adventure Pier. Great White's done. Yeah, great coaster. Definitely like that unbanked tunnel at the beginning before you went into the actual lift. I didn't know that existed. I think that this is a front seat ride, to be honest, because I got a lot of ejector in the front there. We had a full train because, again, miraculously everybody showed up right when I was doing this. I don't want to sound bitter, but it's taken a bit of time to get here. So, yeah, regardless, I definitely enjoyed it. Chose the right coaster, I think, to do my 500th ride. We're going to watch it go around one more time, and then we're going to get some other credits done. And we're done here at Morey's.
And your choice from 7 different side dishes: coleslaw, french fries, corn on the cob.
Nothing against you, Atlantic City. I had a great time earlier down there for the first time. But this area, definitely Wildwood in itself, It's got way more of a vibe for me, a lot more interaction, or at least places that are open, things to do, prizes to be won, lots of restaurants. Yeah, it's definitely more family focused than the casinos, which are kind of built up in a Vegas style, and everybody kind of seems like they just go to the beach and then they go into a casino, whereas here they're actually out and enjoying and engaging in the boardwalk, which is a much nicer feel than over there. It's a shocking development that the water slide park is closed, but I'm sure that wasn't the case earlier today. Never a better day than today to be open for that. And we have arrived at the Central Pier. I believe it has a different name, but at the same time, this is the family pier without question. Lots of family rides. I'm pretty sure this is the original pier, as it is certainly jam-packed with attractions compared to the other two. One attraction that I was really hoping that it would be open, as it fascinates me, is this ghost ship. It's a large, purpose-built, haunted attraction. It seems like more like a funhouse slash haunted attraction. Kind of reminds me of the family casino at Blackpool with this floating ship action, but sort of Peter Pan-esque. But unfortunately, the ghost ship is closed. I didn't think I had enough credits for it anyway today if I did all the coasters, but it certainly looks amazing. I am kind of gutted that I'm not going to be able to get on this today, but at the same time, gotta leave yourself an excuse to come back, right? Now, our next ride and my 501st credit, so not as big of a deal, is Rolly's Coaster. This is a Zyklon Galaxy. I haven't been on one of these since I've been trying to get on the one at the CNE for the longest time and haven't been able to do so, so at least we'll get this one.
Remain seated in an upright position and keep your arms and legs well inside the train at all times. Thank you and enjoy your ride on the Sea Serpent.
Guests waiting in line. Shoes are required on this ride. Please do not take off your shoes. Cell phones and anything else that cannot be safely secured into the loose article bags on the exit side of the platform. Morey's Piers and its
train comes to a complete stop. At that time, your shoulder harnesses will automatically release. Please gather up all belongings and exit to the right and center of the station. Once again, the exit is to the right and center of the station.
Instructional and warning signage. Observe each attraction before deciding to ride. Obey all ride operator and staff instructions.
Wild Wizard behind me, which I just did. I've only got one coaster left to do. S&S Visa spinning coaster. They're so boring. You can pretty much get 500 credits just doing those around the world, especially if you come to places like these Piers and, say, Branson, which has, I think 6 of them. Did not cover the Zyklon, which was a pretty standard affair. A little rough on the brakes, but an enjoyable ride nonetheless. Very nostalgic getting on those. And, yeah, that's it. That's the pier done. So yeah, Sea Serpent has a very obscure entrance as well. It's the exit is actually more decorative than the entrance.
Non-rider. The smallest person must get in.
About 2 hours that I've been here. I've got one more credit to do. All done with this pier. Can't get any shots of the S&S, so for you S&S fans that are devastated with no off-ride, sorry, but I gotta hustle because I might get another pier in today with another 4 coasters. It's only half an hour from here, so I gotta hustle. And they're only open till 10, and at some point I gotta sleep tonight too. So there it is back there. Cyclone as well was a really good time, like I said, but yeah, it's time to move on. One more credit before sundown here at Morey's Piers.
And it's only for 25 cents.
If monkeys, sharks, and fish aren't your game, check out our giant American alligator.
Tram car, please. Watch the tram car, please. Watch the tram car, please. Watch the tram car.
We have returned to where we started here, and while we are now on the northern pier, we only have one order of business. I certainly hope it doesn't have a line. It does. Runaway Tram, our final coaster here today.
Guests in line, please take this time to identify and prepare to secure all loose articles when you enter the tram. Once you are seated, small items will be placed in your pockets, only allowed to bring your legs. Larger items, such as purses and backpacks, will be placed on the floor of the vehicle by your feet. Any items that do not comfortably fit on the floor of the vehicle must be left on the exit platform. Thank you.
All right, well, we have 10 credits left, and I made the mistake to not use it for Great White. The question remains, do I come all the way back here to use those credits on another day because the tickets are good for good or forever? Also loving the names of some of these rides makes me understand what Rush song titles actually refer to. Cygnus, song from one of my favorite Rush albums. Done here at Morey's Piers. Zier forced to end the day. That was actually a very good ride. Got a little bit of floater on that first airtime hill, or on both times going around. Actually a fair significant amount. Also like those zigzag turns it took. That was a pretty decent ride, I must say. Those Zier rides, super smooth, elegant. Yeah, that is German engineering for you, par excellence. Great ride. So we're all done here. Unfortunately, I was going to try to go on the log flume, but then this is another one of those weird parks that they won't allow you to go on a log flume on your own, which is very frustrating, but it looks excellent, so that's, I guess, a next time situation. There's certainly enough here for me to do next time, including the ghost ship, that log flume, and maybe some re-rides one fair day. Overall, I'd say for the price that it costs to get here, yeah, it is pretty extortionate. You don't have to pay really for parking because parking is pretty reasonable off-site. In fact, I hope I get it towed away, but I parked on the street, just a residential area, so it's pretty reasonable there. Yeah, just the ticket price is pretty steep if you're trying to get the credits here, so you do have to make a fair commitment to even get here. Hope the rides are open, and then yeah, spend a fair amount of money to get on them. Just for insight, they do offer an all-ride pass. It's $116 plus tax I believe, at last point asking. So that's with the water slides and the dry park. It's a lot of money. So yeah, back near the water slides, it didn't really make much sense for me. So other than that, had a great time. Excellent atmosphere here at Morey's Piers. Definitely enjoyed it. It is one of those places that, yeah, very family oriented. So if you're coming here for a family outing, I highly recommend it. Or if you're coming here for credits, you might as well come down and get them. There is another pier just up the road, Ocean City. It has 4 credits there too, so you can really bang out a lot of them if you're in this area. All right, guys, that's it here from Morey's Piers. Maybe one day I'll be back to use my last 10 credits. I certainly hope so. But until then, thanks for dropping in.